I'm Ted Coe, former high school and college mathematics teacher and the director of mathematics at EQuIP.
Hi, I'm Maya Daughtery, former high school and middle school reading and English teacher and the director of literacy and ELA for EQuIP. It is important that students are given high quality, aligned work no matter how small the task is during instructional time. For lessons or units, the full EQuIP rubric for lessons and units is helpful, but sometimes we might want to take a look at a single task, or we may not have the time to devote to a full, in-depth review. Well, the good news is, EQuIP has a shorter tool, the EQuIP task rubric, that evaluates a single task.
While we all have our favorite look-fors when we consider the tasks that we want to use in class, it's important that we consider standards alignment, key shifts, and necessary supports for teachers and varied learners. The task review process is intended to be done collectively in teams of 3 to 4, though we expect each reviewer to come to the conversation having conducted a review on his or her own. An individual to collective process helps to produce a final product that honors the diverse set of expertise in analysis.
In English language arts, the EQuIP task review rubric provides criteria to determine the quality and alignment of a task or suite of tasks defined as a reading, writing, or speaking activity that provides students an opportunity to demonstrate a thorough understanding of grade-level complex texts or topics. A high-quality ELA task springs from reading grade-level complex text, aligns to one or more specific standards or part of a standard, connects to previous learning, and is sufficiently challenging. To be effective in assessing student understanding, the task should have a well-defined purpose, be text-dependent, and include helpful features for both teachers and students. It should be clearly worded using grade-appropriate language. The context of a quality task should support student understanding and motivate student interest. Dimension 1 determines if the task clearly aligns with one or more of the standards. It determines that the task asks students a question worth answering, requires an analysis of a grade-level text or topic, and that it selects texts that are appropriately complex for the grade. Dimension 2 looks at the shifts. It determines if the task includes reading grade-appropriate text closely and attunes to key ideas and details, language, craft, and structure. It looks to see if the task involves rich and rigorous evidence-based speaking and/or writing. Finally, it looks to see if the task provides opportunities to build important disciplinary knowledge and vocabulary. Dimensions 1 and 2 are gateway dimensions. If the task does not meet the bar set in dimensions 1 and 2, it probably should not be used for standards-based instruction. Dimension 3 looks for implementation support. This dimension checks to see that the task can be used to elicit direct evidence of the standards, that supporting materials are clearly connected to the standards, and provide sufficient guidance for interpreting student performance, that the prompts and directions provide sufficient guidance for the teacher to instruct and the student to complete, and finally, that the task is accessible and appropriate for all learners.
At the end of the review, consider the checked criteria and determine which overall rating descriptor best describes the task. Assign a rating of E if most criteria are checked, including all in Dimension 1 and for those that are appropriate to the task's purpose in Dimension 2 and 3. The task is likely to promote successful learning and assessment of the skills and knowledge required in the targeted standards. Assign a rating of EI if many criteria are checked. The task is aligned to the standards and has potential, but could benefit from minor improvements. Assign a rating of R if some criteria are checked. The task has potential, but needs significant revision to be considered effective. Finally, assign a rating of N if the task is not recommended for instruction or assessment of the standards.
Then consider your next steps. If the task is rated E, go ahead and use it. If the task is rated EI or R, reviewers may choose to revise the task. If the task is rated N, the task should probably not be used with students. The aspects of quality that are not checked in the rubric can serve as suggestions for revisions to the task. All of this is freely available on the EQuIP website under an open license.